Hi everyone, today we're going to be reviewing triangular prisms and how to find their total and lateral surface area. Now before we get started with these two triangles over here, we are going to quickly remind ourselves that in a triangular prism, the triangles, as you hear in that name, the triangles will be your bases. So whenever we need to find perimeter or area of the base, they are referring to the triangles because that's what you hear when you hear the word triangular prism. So let's get started with the lateral surface area of both of these triangles. So remember, lateral surface area, your formula is perimeter and then multiply that by the height of the prism. So we are going to find the perimeter of the base. Again, your base is the triangles. So you're going to find the perimeter of the triangle. Over here on the left side, we are going to add the 5 plus the 4 plus the 3. Now the reason I know it's 3 is because this back straight edge is 3. That means the front will also be 3. That would give me a perimeter of 12. Now I'm going to multiply that 12 by the height of the prism. That means I'm going to multiply it by 8. Imagine if we were to take this triangular prism and turn it so now it's standing on its base, the height of that prism would be more apparent, and the height of that prism is 8. You can also think about the height of the prism as what is the distance between the two bases. So between the two triangles, how far is it? And in this case, it's 8. Therefore, I would multiply the 12 by the 8, and I would get an answer of 96 centimeters squared. Remember, we're still talking about area, so our units are going to be in units squared. That is all you would have to do to find the lateral surface area in this right triangle. Now for this scalene triangle, scalene meaning we have 3 different sides, the method is going to be very similar if we had an isosceles, meaning the 2 sides are equal length, an isosceles triangle. So same thing, we're first going to find the perimeter and then multiply it by the height of the prism. The perimeter is those 3 sides added up, so we have 10.2 and we have 12.2 and we have 9. That would give me a perimeter of 31.4. And then I'm going to multiply that number by my height of the prism. Again, that's the distance between the 2 triangles, or if I were to tilt it so it's standing on the triangle, how tall that is. So I'm going to multiply it by 13, and that would give me an answer of 408.2 inches squared on this one. Now, for us to figure out the total surface area, there is just one more step. So if you look at the formulas, the beginning part of them is the same for total surface area. So it is perimeter times the height. The only thing we now need to add is twice the area of the base. Remember, we changed that B to an A just to make it less confusing for our brains. And now we can find the area of the base. Quick reminder that your base is a triangle. So if you look on your formula sheet, it actually tells you that to find the area of a triangle, we need to do 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. So that's what we're going to use to figure out the area of the triangle. Over here we have a right triangle. That means that your base is the bottom part it's standing on, and your height is the other leg, as we call it. Now the height is just going to be from that 90-degree angle straight up, and the base is going to be from that 90-degree angle outwards. So that would be your base and your height. So over here we would find half of 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Half of that is 6. So the area of my triangle is 6. Therefore, I can take the 96 and add 2 times the value of my area, which is 6. So in this case, I would be ending up with a total surface area of 108 centimeters squared. Now, over here on the other side where we have a scalene or an isosceles triangle, your base and your height is going to look slightly different. Whenever we have a triangle that looks like this, our base is this bottom part again, but the height this time is going to be shown in the middle of that triangle. So it just looks slightly different. So over here, we would do 1/2 of the 9 times 10. 9 times 10 is 90. Half of that would be 45. So in this case, we would have our 408.2, and then we would add 2 times the value of my area, which is the 45. Again, the reason that the formula says 2 is because we've already figured out everything that the perimeter times the height. So we've already figured out the chunky part. without the triangles, without your bases. So now you need to add 2 times the basis area because you need the front and the back, or you need the area of both of the triangles to get everything covered. So over here, your answer would end up being 498.2 inches squared. So that is how you figure out total and lateral surface area of triangular prisms, regardless of how you are shown those 2 triangular prisms.